Well, hello everybody and welcome again to Tin Time Projects. So, it's a Craigslist find. I needed a hole in the head, but I was looking for something to mess around with a little bit. It is a Siltronix SLM 100. Can't find a whole lot of information, even on the worldwide internet. It seems to be the general consensus is it's about 100-watt linear amplifier that can work on 3 to 30 megahertz. I haven't taken it apart, haven't done anything with it. Got it for 25 bucks, and I thought that was more than fair, but that was sight unseen and didn't open it or anything. So I'm gonna open it up. I don't know how far I'm gonna get with it today, and I've got to admit I know very little about these mobile amplifiers. I was curious how they actually know to key up, since there's no key input like there would be for a an HF amplifier like the Heathkit that I worked on. So they must actually get the signal from the transmit from the radio itself, and then that keys it up. I think there's like 2 different videos on YouTube, and in both the videos they replaced the power wires. I would assume that this probably didn't have 2 white wires coming out of it, but from the factory, but I could be wrong. So we'll open it up and see what's going on inside of it. Let's see what we got here. No fuse, so that's never a good sign. Like I said, there might be nothing inside the case. I don't know. It's kind of one of those gotta try it things. The person I bought it off of, he never really used it either. He kind of bought it the same way I did. I didn't ask him if he ever opened it up or not. I do see that the warning sticker, broken seal will void all warranties. It's broken, so I guess I can't send this back to Siltronix. So I'm going to take it apart. I see a little bit of corrosion around these screws. I'm hoping it's not all filled with rust. Let me grab a screwdriver. You can always make this kind of a 2-part kind of thing, or multi-part if it goes on to be too long. If you're like me, I just like to watch people tear things apart, so we'll open it up and see what's inside it there. Then we'll know what we want to do with it. Let's see. Let me get one of my trusty screw holders. Alrighty. So it's finally getting summertime, and I kind of like it warm. Had a couple of pretty hot days for this early in May, or I guess not early anymore, this middle to late May. Alright, so that's the bracket, I take it. Let's see. And I imagine everything stays with the heat sink. Let's see what we pop this off. These look kind of like the same screws, except these ones have little lock washers on them, or toothed washers, as they say. Piece of tape there. I don't know what that tape was for. Probably at the Hamfest they had the wires all taped together and taped to the side of it, or a sticker or something, you know. I imagine that's where things like this end up at, is at the Hamfest. Alright. The screws are off, but to no avail. Probably stuff spilled on it over the years. That side pulled apart. This side's not pulling apart. There we go. Probably the transistors were melted into it. I hope I don't have to take. No, I guess I don't have to. Let's say the front cover. There's just some stuff stuck to it. All right, so here we can take a look inside, and I don't know what is factory and what is not factory. Take a look at a couple of things here. Some things that stand out to me. These solder joints here, they look, well, I was going to say they don't look very good, but they look kind of factory. This capacitor, there's a, what do you want to call it, a protector, whether on the negative lead, and it's kind of melted on that end, which makes me wonder if, again, probably not factory. I'm going to put my magnifier on and take a look inside here. You can look with me. I'll try and keep it so you can see it as well. Looks like these screws have been taken out. There's a screw there and there and there. Just kind of looking around at stuff. There's a relay here, a relay here, line going to the antenna. Just kind of looking at all the solder joints. And the transformers. I don't know if it's melted or something dripped on it, you know, like some flux or something. See, it's kind of brown there. Transistors are SRF 2017s. SRF 2017. They don't look blown apart, so that might be a good thing. This gigantic 75 ohm 10 watt power resistor in there. Doesn't look like what was I going to say? I'll think of it. Oh, I was going to say it doesn't look like it got real hot or anything. Let me take a look. See, I can see the wires. I told you the power wires that somebody replaced. Somebody did something with a pair of pliers or a holder of some type, and definitely doesn't look factory there. Another burn mark on this. There's a capacitor down here. And again, I can't tell if they're just burn marks or somebody dripped some flux or something on them. Let's see, these switches here. One's the power. One is the receive preamp. One is a single sideband in AM. The other is a mod output. So, let's see, this one is the one for the power. It comes in and goes to there. I wonder if we could put some power on that through a limited power supply and see what happens. You put 13 volts on it and very, very low current and start to turn the current up and see if we get anything. Again, like I said, I don't know anything about these amps in particular, or any of these mobile amps, so I don't know what is and what isn't, shouldn't be here. That cap definitely looks like somebody messed around and changed that for some reason. I don't know why. Probably know a whole lot more about these than I do. I don't know if this big gigantic 10, was that a 10 ohm resistor, probably like 5 watts or something. I don't know what the story is with that. I mean, maybe looks kind of neat. So let me get a little bit of power to it and we'll see what happens. Alright, I raised you up in the air a little bit so that you have the bird's eye view of things. And I have the power supply hooked up to it, and I'm running it about 13 volts but no current whatsoever. Turn enough current on so I can get the voltage reading. Alright, there's 13 volts. I don't have the fuse in there, which is okay because I'm way below probably whatever this would take. So I'm going to flip it on and see what happens. There's an on-off switch. I would imagine that's what I'm looking for. Alright. Current dropped, or the voltage dropped way low. Let's see, still not even reading on the current scale. There, the volts back up. I'm well below a quarter of an amp. I can't even see it's 1/10 of an amp even. If you look here, you can see the white light is on. And let's see, what's this? The next one is the, and when I turn the preamp on, it draws enough current that it slows it down. So let me see what happens. I'm going to turn it up a little bit more. Still, let's turn the preamp on. And it dropped down a little bit. Let's see. That turn that down to 13.8. Looks like about 2/10 of an amp. Oh, neat. And that's green. That's green. So about 2/10 of an amp with everything on. Now I'll turn it on from one way's AM, one sideband. Oh, and another color. So we have, looks like another orange kind of color. Not sure what this mod does, but still, now I'm I'm about 3/10 of an amp. I'm looking over at the power supply, which is kind of out of your view, but not really sure what that's all about. Didn't seem to change anything. Mod output off or on? Okay. Not sure what that actually does. How come you didn't light up a neat color? I don't know, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Okay, so we know that it does some stuff here. I'm going to turn it back off. And again, I had the power set so low, just enough, basically, probably the lights were even tough on this, so I didn't bother putting it through a dummy load because I know it's definitely not enough to get any power out of it. I'd have to use probably a different power supply for that. So I guess the next step, what I think I would like to do, oh, excuse me, it's making me tired just thinking about it. Sorry, the next step, which I think I would like to do, is probably put some RF into it and see if these relays close up. I want to use something really low. I'm trying to think. I know the Ranger I have, Ranger, I don't know if you can manually tune it below 5 watts or not. I'd want to start really low. I guess what I could use actually is a CB walkie-talkie, because I know that I have some of those. They're extremely low, you know, and have high, low, or medium. So I think the lowest it's under a watt, and then medium's like 2 watts, and then 4 watts for the high. And then if that works, then we can move to the Ranger, because I think I can get between, I think that does on AM something 5 to 10 watts or something. I'll have to look. It's been a while. But anyhow, I'm kind of excited that much of it works. Doesn't seem to be any short. Again, I can't say what the story is with the transistors, but it really kind of looks in somewhat nice shape inside here. You know, it doesn't look too beat up. maybe now that I know what the inside looks like, I can compare it to one of the ones on YouTube and see if it's supposed to look like this. Well, one thing I did notice before I totally sign off, I was looking at these relays to make sure that they work. I don't know if you can get a good enough view, but that relay, when you push it, it seems to have a nice travel, and you can see the contacts moving from the upper point to the lower point. I don't know if you're able to see that. I'm trying to get it so you can see it. So I come over to this relay. It doesn't seem to have any movement at all. And if you look inside there, I don't know if you can see it in between where the magnetic coil is, it looks like there's something sitting on top of that coil. It could be just a piece of dirt or something. Let me see if I can knock it out. Oh, it almost looks like a piece of solder or something. Let me see if I can knock it out of there with this. Yeah, if I could get in there, maybe try something smaller. Alright, I know what I can use. How about one of these? A lead from something that I replaced. Come on. Whatever it was really stuck in there. Okay. Well, look, now you can see. I'll show you the... I don't know if you can see those. The dial definitely has movement, so that's... Well, one thing we fixed. Okay, it's good. Okay, so welcome to day 2 of Siltronix SLM 100. Couldn't remember the name of it. A couple of things I found yesterday. I took it apart a little further. This front plate, I'm going to have to see what I want to do about it. There's something on here that you can see. It's just in rubbing the, just touching the letters, it's actually starting to come off. I thought it looks like to me like coffee stains back here, like somebody spilled coffee or pop or something. But it's having an effect where if I just wipe the front, like if I try and wipe the front off, it brings off the paint. So I could possibly scan that and make a new label, or I guess anybody with that's good at like a CAD program could probably create a new label, and I could stick it back on here. I was really afraid to wipe anything off. I don't know if you can see it, like right there and right above where it says off, and even the F here. It's even the F right here, if you can see that. See how it's like kind of rubbed down. It's weird, but that like I said, it's kind of like it's wet. I don't know what it is. But... So I cleaned the front off. Not real good. I just wiped it off to get whatever that sticky, disgusting gook was, filth muck. So I can't wait any longer. I looked, I did see some differences in between the guys that did these on the internet, on YouTube, and this one. It looks like there's been some changes, and I can show you them in a few minutes. So what I have, let's see, what do I have going on now? I want to see how low I can get the RCI, the 2950, it's 10 meter radio. I want to see how low I can get on AM. Okay, now I think you can see more things. Maybe I can move this so you can see the current reading as well. So let's see. I'll turn it up to about, I don't know, let's see. That's going to be 10, it'll be 5. I'll turn up to maybe like 2 watts or whatever. Let's see what we get. 2.2 amps for 2 watts. Okay. Now we're going to turn this guy on and see what happens. So 2.2 amps. Everything's going into a dummy load. It powered on. That's a good thing. minimal current rise. So let's just see, when I key this now, I just want to see if anything's going to happen in the radio itself. Oh, some things are keying. Did you? I don't know if you saw the relays. I saw that go up. I saw the ammeter or the watt meter move. So everything's going through dummy load. 30 watts. So it's going 30 watts. Let's see what we're consuming current wise. 9.6. So it was 2.2. Let me write this down. I had too many numbers going through my head. Okay. So with the 2950 at about 2 watts, we're showing 2.2 amps. And then we had 9.6, excuse me, with the amp. Well, I'm going to rate 30 watts up here with the amp. Still leaving it at 2 watts. So basically an increase. This drew about 7.4 amps. So now what I want to do is take it up a little bit more and just see what happens. I don't want to go crazy, but I'm fully expecting the fuse that back there to blow if we get too high. But let's just increase the power on the radio a little bit. That's where I miss having the other meter. Let me turn this back off. And we'll go up to, we'll put it right about 5, I'd imagine. Okay, right there is about 5 watts. So now the 2950 is at 5 watts. See what we draw there. 2.9. Now when we turn this doodad on, see, the first time I pushed in, nothing happened. Alright, so now we're going to see what happens. Camera, you can be my eyes. Okay, over 50 watts, and what did we have? 13.2. Alright, so we're getting to the point where it's going to probably blow a fuse in there if I go any higher. Now that's just dead key. Let's just see. Well, that puts it well over 100 watts. So what I want to do is turn this back down. I'll turn this back down to about 2 watts. Which is right about there. I think we 2.6. Let me turn it down a little lower. Okay. Looks to me like that's between 1 and 2 watts. Now we'll try this. We got almost to 30, and now we're going to. So that gives us about 60 watts. Let me just see. Neither of the amplifiers are warm. Okay. So yeah, that all sounds well and good, but now we have to see what it looks like. About the only way I think that I can do that is I'm going to plug in the RTL and get that running up. See what it looks like on the adapter, or the spectrum analyzer part, or whatever you want to call it. Hopefully it's not splattered all the way down the screen. I'm going to turn this up a little bit higher. Let's go to That was 2.9. I'll set it so it's 2.5 amps on that without this. Okay, there's 2.5. That puts us at about 90, which is probably a good number to be running at. Let's see. I want to see now. Well, the preamp works. I think it delays how long it holds down the relays for sideband. You know, with sideband, when you're talking or flapping. Let's see something. Yeah, you see, I think it holds it a little bit longer. Watch. Let's see if that did work. Yeah, it's instantaneous. So why? Let me see something. Oh, this one back here, this relay back here is for the preamp. This one's for the amplifier, the linear, the output, input, output. There we go. How's that? So we're starting to find some things out about this here thing. So when we get the, I'll have to go find it. What I did with the RTL, and we'll get it on the screen and see what it looks like. So let me shut this stuff down so as not to cause a fire while I'm looking for things. Okay, so there you have it. Now I don't know if this is a real accurate test. This is something new I'm trying, and we'll see how things go. Let me find my pointer. So if you watch right in this area, right here, where the red line is, it says 28.5. That's what I have the radio set to. You're going to see when I key it, you're going to see a little spike. And then I'll talk into it, and you're going to see the spike with both side bands. Hello. I'm going to do my best 1,000 hertz tone. Anyhow, you can see it. That is, with me talking, it shoots up to about, I'd say almost 15 watts on AM. No talking, it's about 2 to 4 watts. Okay, so now we're going to turn the amp on and just pray that when I do that, it doesn't look like a whole bunch of ugly things going down. Basically, I want it to look the exact same, but just bigger. I don't want to see a bunch of harmonics. Hello. And I don't think I do, which is a good thing. So let me see if I can zoom this in a little better. I don't know what that noise is. I mean, there are some, but I don't think it's anything out of the ordinary. Okay, that doohickey works, the preamp. Okay, so watch this light here, this button when I pushed it in. Hello. But that whistle, I have the modulation turned down on the radio to less than half, and that whistle drove it up over 100 watts. Let me turn it on. That was 50 watts. I don't know how much was there, but anyhow, so that's where we're at, and I'm going to stick an antenna on it, like I said, and see how things sound with the antenna. Okay, so this is kind of, I'm not sure what that noise in the background is. But that's with the amplifier on, the preamp on. Here's with it off. So that guy even there. So it sounds like 10 meters has opened up a little bit tonight. I don't know what that was.
All right, there. You sounded good, dog.
Wow. I'm really impressed with that that preamp. Gee willikers. What do you want, dog face? The dog wants to do something. No, hang on.
Man, I've been through there years ago. Hey, a 76
Okay, well, I don't want to bore you with driving through the channels or anything, but if I can make a contact and I'm really curious why that code is in there, and I can't hear it at all without the amp. And normally people wouldn't be doing code up at 28.6. I wouldn't think. All right, I'll be back as soon as we find something else out, and then we'll talk about what we're going to do with this thing, clean it up, and try and track down some more information on it. Yeah, so it's with the amp on, it definitely is bringing in everything, but I'm surprised that the radio can't discriminate between what it wants to hear. It definitely is kind of overloading it a little bit. I wonder if that is specific to this radio, or you know, how it would operate on other radios as well. But it's really impressive how well that preamp works. I'm more impressed with that than anything else. So okay, well, like I said, I think we'll wrap this one up then. For now, I want to clean this up in here and see what's going on with here. There was something I wanted to show you. Let me see if I can get repositioned so the camera can see it. Let me turn this off, and this off, and this off. Okay, sorry about that. All right. Not the best camera mount in the world. So, see this little diode here? Well, big diode. I saw one of the other fellows that had worked on those. There was one down in, I think it was going down into the case. And again, don't know if that's specific to this model or what the reasoning is. Definitely looks like there was some things modified on this, so maybe this diode went away and that's what they replaced it with. On the other one, I noticed that the power wire actually came up to here on this this coil, and this one they jumped. It looks like they jumped from there to here, and they have the power wire soldered down to here. So there definitely have been some mods done. And what I'm thinking is this is the input. So attached to this input is this capacitor right down here. I don't know if you can see it. I think it's a capacitor. It's underneath everything. But I believe what that does is that couples the RF, a portion of the RF down to here, then goes through this resistor, and this appears to be a transistor. This I imagine is the base. So what happens is when this gets some voltage to it from the RF, it turns on. Turning on grounds the or I'm not sure if it supplies power or grounds, but it controls the pull down relay for this, and that's what makes that work. That's, remember I was saying that I was surprised there wasn't some type of a keying circuit, but that's it. So curious why they don't use that on the bigger amps, or maybe they do. I haven't really looked at you know, a new amp. The newest thing I have is that the amp from Heathkit. So just kind of interesting. And we've decided that this is the relay for the transmit. This is the relay for the preamp. Not really sure what the deal is with this switch up front that lights up when you push it in, but we know what the other switches are. I have to look and see if any of this stuff has changed. So I'll keep doing a little bit more research on it. Maybe I can find a manual for it or buy a manual for it and go from there. And if you have one of these and you're following along, you're doing so at your own risk, so don't blow it up. It might already be blown up, I don't know. This one seems to work okay so far. I think that's all I have, and we'll see if we can find some more information out about it. So thanks for watching. See ya.